We are live at the forum. This is Rudy Racine, Vice President of Operations with Equus Workforce Solutions. I am here this afternoon, or this day, with Ashley Matthews, Senior Project Coordinator from the Fresno Regional Workforce Development Board. Welcome, Ashley.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. All right, so Ashley, let's dive right into it, right? So you've got two really innovative programs in Fresno. Tell us a little bit about those programs.
Absolutely. So in our special projects unit, we have several programs, but our two biggest and the ones that I run. So those ones are the Valley Build pre-apprenticeship program and the Central Valley Forestry Corps, soon to be the Greater Sierra Forestry Corps. We can get into that later. But these programs, I'll start with Valley Build, is a 14-county pre-apprenticeship construction program. So through that program, it started in Fresno over a decade ago. It was a little Power Pathways project that was funded by PG&E, and over the last decade has grown into this massive 14-county. We have 4 building trades councils, 6 workforce boards, and Fresno is the fiscal agent for that partnership. And through this MC3 training, we're able to offer individuals a pathway into the construction trades, and they get to explore that, and we help support them through supportive services and lots of extras like case management, wrap services, and really help them find the path to a career that frankly, it can change their lives. Getting into that middle class, that blue collar work can really make a difference for a lot of people. So that's Valley Build in a nutshell, and we're continuing to grow it. We have really excited. Last year we announced our all-women's cohort, so that's been amazing, and we're about to do it again. And I'm sure we can discuss that a little bit more too, but it's really a passion of mine. That program is where I started with the board. And then our forestry program, it is a collaboration between ourselves, the community colleges, and our local EOCs to help train the next generation of forest workers.
I love it. I love it. So now, you mentioned an all-women's cohort, and I know when we were speaking off camera, you talked to me about some of the successes of the all-women's cohort. Talk to us about the growth in that program.
Absolutely. So we started the program. I was actually driving from Fresno to Sacramento. It's about a 3-hour drive with the head of our building trades, Chuck Riojas, and he was like, I really want to have an all-women's cohort before I retire. And I was like, done. Like, I'm on it. So I talked to my board, and they love the idea. And so last year on International Women's Day, we announced the recruitment. We customized a logo. We started doing outreach to all different women's groups. Tradeswomen Inc. has been a huge partner in that, and so they helped us design custom workshops for the all-women's cohorts. And from that, we had 13 women. They all came in. They all graduated. And from there, we've had 2 plumbers, a sheet metal worker, a laborer. We've had women go into private construction, maintenance sector. Just overall, a very successful cohort. And we were really excited this International Women's Day to be able to announce Cohort 2. And that cohort has already doubled the enrollment of the first one. So we have high hopes, and no slowing down for us. And
I love to hear it. Now, as I walk around the forum over the weekend, I know that one of the common themes is just struggles with engagement, keeping people engaged and keeping enthusiasm around programs. Mm-hmm. What are you doing to keep the enthusiasm of your participants in the programs and keeping them engaged?
We have a really great marketing team. So I have to shout out to my, marketing manager, and they are very innovative, and they kind of run with whatever idea I have. But also, I'm very intentional about my staffing. So I make sure that my staff reflects the populations we're serving. And quite frankly, some of my participants are now my staff because they know what it's like to go through it. And they can speak to our participants in a way that helps them understand what are the long-term benefits that I'm going to get by making these small sacrifices now to go to training. And participants feel very confident and in confiding in them and really letting them know this is where I'm struggling at, and this is where I need help. And I make sure that the coordinators are very knowledgeable on where to go to find that help. Is it another community organization we work with? Is it something that we can help with co-enrolling them in another grant or WIOA? And I think that support system makes a huge difference. And then the word of mouth gets out, and that's kind of how we keep it going.
Excellent. So now you've got Valley Build and Central Valley Forestry Corps, construction and forestry. Why those two industries? What is it about those two industries that is important to these programs in your region?
Yeah, absolutely. So forestry in California, I think that's kind of a big one. We're in the Central Valley. So for those that don't know, Fresno is kind of smack dab in the middle of California in this huge valley. We're surrounded by trees to the east of us. And every summer, it just feels like we are engulfed in smoke. We live under a smoke cloud for almost a month because there are so many dead and dying trees in the forest that have just been undermanaged for so long. There's just not enough, my boss would say, qualified human capital. They could be working at full capacity for the next 30 years for all the work that there is out there. So, it's a huge issue in California, and the damage it causes, the pollution it causes, the training is a fraction of what we spend on the cleanup. So, the aftermath of what happens. And that's why I feel like training the next generation of forestry workers, particularly in California, is so important. And we're very lucky. We have great partners with community college and adult ed, and our EOC, our local conservation corps. Everybody is very invested in it, and I think that creating those jobs for that population while also helping the environment in California is just a win-win for everybody. For construction, we actually did a 10-year study. We had some great researchers at the Applied Development Economics who did some research for us and found that in the Central Valley, we have $47 million worth of infrastructure projects already awarded and scheduled to happen over the next 10 years. And that's before Biden's infrastructure bill. So the opportunities are huge. We're going to need a lot of workforce. We also have many in the workforce that are retiring now. And so there's just going to be this huge need. And we really want to start to try and get ahead of it. We want to get these apprentices in a pipeline where they can start to take over those journey level positions. And so that's why that program also is just hugely important to California.
Excellent. So now I know there's an emphasis on quality jobs, high wages, and career ladders. With regards to outcomes, what are you seeing on your end in your region?
So in regards to outcomes, I'll speak a little bit to construction first. We just completed our SB1 grant. So this grant carried us from 2019 up until February of this year. And during that grant, we were able to serve 266 individuals throughout the valley, and we actually doubled our apprenticeship placement goals. So we were 200% to goal, and these individuals are going into very meaningful, high-wage jobs that come with full benefits. So, if you want to really get somebody out of poverty, out of that dead-end job cycle, living paycheck to paycheck, you have to make sure that where they're going is not only going to be able to support them and their family, but that they have those benefits too, and that they have that support system behind it. So I just feel like this is really important, and I feel like we've really been able to accomplish that, and especially helping them with retention and all of those great things. I have so many success stories. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I was able to bring Alexis Roberry with me to the conference, and she came to talk about women in construction. And she shared her story with the audience. She was homeless when she started. She was living in her car with 2 kids, being told by some other agencies that you don't need construction. That's not a good path for you. And she knew it was. And she enrolled in Valley Build, and she was able to graduate. She's now a 3rd-year apprentice electrician, and she says her children want for naught. And she's really excited to be able to give that to them.
That is an awesome success story. So now, with regards to feedback, what are some other feedback that you're receiving from employers or job seekers about your initiatives?
It's very positive, obviously. We feel like we're just expanding. You know, we keep finding more and more entities that want to be involved and, want to be part of the partnership. For forestry, we have individuals that are going into the U.S. Forest Service. They're going into CAL FIRE, which is the major funder of our forestry program. They are going into private logging industry. So we have like associated loggers that are coming in and working with our students. And we're growing our campuses. So, Valley Build, we've really been focusing on strengthening it and going after those target populations like women. We're going to do a veterans cohort coming up here soon. And then with forestry, we're going to expand it. We're going to be up at Columbia College in Sonora. We're looking at Bakersfield. We're just seeing, where can we get more people involved and more capital and really fill these jobs that need to be filled.
Excellent. So now, first time in DC, you spent a couple of days here live at the forum. What's one takeaway that you'll be taking back when you go back to Fresno?
I think that one of the biggest takeaways was really just the communication and the partnership, and I loved getting to learn what other states are doing. I loved getting to hear, I did a lot of apprentice stuff, obviously, and I loved getting to hear the partnerships between the different trades and how they're working with their boards, and I have so many ideas now, and I plan on just continuing to grow the program and just add more to it and really make it something that our customers can be able to access and use and just make their lives better.
Excellent. Ashley Matthews, partnership and collaboration, common theme. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. And with that, we are live at the Forum 2023. I want to thank our guest, Ashley Matthews, Senior Project Coordinator from the Fresno Regional Workforce Development Board. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.